Hey guys, RB here. I thought I'll record a video here before we head into the weekend here. It was an interesting day, and this is a follow-up to the video that I recorded 2 days ago for you all, where we talked about, that market is close to a near-term interim top. There was a lot of chop going on, and I kind of shared that, either it had topped already, on I think it was on Wednesday, or probably we'll just make at the max one more high, right? And that's what we got on Thursday, right? And today, again, I mean, when I wrote my post yesterday for you all, my hope was that the XPX will make a lower high, not a higher high, but in early in the morning when the New York opened, I think US 100 went for a higher high, but SPX did not make a higher high. It was like an equal top, approximately, or maybe slightly lower, right? And then all of a sudden, it started chopping, and then there was a news, and then there was a sell off. Now, our expectation for a sell off was simply because we could see these five waves unfolding here, and I was looking at, that we will probably touch somewhere here around the 6570 area on SPX. I'm using SPY chart because it's still selling, it's still open. SPX and US 500 have already closed for the day. Um, so these were the areas that I was looking for the dip to be at, for it to come here and to stop here. Whether post that, I kind of share two scenarios. That one, it could be that this was my 1, 2, 3, 4, and there could be one fifth wave here, but again, and then there will be a connection which can bring us down to somewhere in the 630 area. That was one path, but given where it is right now, that looks to be, of course, invalid because it's too deep for a sub 4. So I have to conclude that this leg was completed, and now we are on a larger 4, right? Now, this market is crazy at this point of time, and we have been seeing, stocks like Oracle and AMD, which are jumping like 30-40% overnight on some news, and now we have 3%, 4% decline all of a sudden on the news of tariff being imposed on China, right? So the reactions are pretty wild. Though one point to note is that there are certain things where are certain patterns where uh, the price movements are generally very very volatile. So anywhere you see a ending wedge like this, or you know this is ending wedge, not an ending diagonal, basically. With an ending diagonal, you will have the fourth wave overlap with one. That's not the case. It's just a wedge, right? A rising wedge here. The sell-offs in these cases are sharp, and if you would remember that whenever we actually make a bottom and we start making the incline backwards and we have a leading diagonal start, the sell-off there is also sharp, sweeping the liquidity below the wave too low and then start moving upwards, right? So any consolidations like this generally lead into a sharp sell-off. Now there is no number that I can associate that it could be 2%, 3%, but expectation simply was, which I tweeted in the morning, was that or in the afternoon, was that 6570 can be tested. 6550 was acceptable as well, which is 652.61 here on SPY, right? So all said and done, that was acceptable, and the idea is that we should see a bounce somewhere from this area. Now, given the craziness that has been going on in the market, this is a bit extreme, for sure. Now, just first to understand where we are in the count. Now I just share that we cannot have this count where it was a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5, right? So that's out of the picture. So we'll be only focusing only on a larger 4 scenario. When I talk about larger 4, what I'm saying is I'm looking into um, a wave count here where here is my 1 and 2, and now I have completed a three here, and I'm in a fourth wave here, right? So when I look into it, and there will be a fifth wave as a center rally later on, which we have talked about multiple times, right? So when we talk about this fourth wave, now fourth wave generally tends to be, slow, choppy, makes multiple patterns like flat, triangle, and all that. But again, Trump setup, things could be really crazy all the time. Um, what happened here? All right, it's back. So now, when we're looking at this wave four, let's first measure where the 38% and 50% really comes, right? So when we are looking at, the extension or the Fibonacci retracements, it comes right here at 630, 38%, where I have marked this wave four. Coincidence? No. This is a large liquidity level here at the double bottoms, almost double bottom here. And, this should easily sweep here. Below that, 50% is in another liquidity level, which is your 6200 or 6210 or whatnot, right? So this level, we can check the SPX chart what it is, but it's around 6210 or so, right? So this sell off either should stop somewhere around, 63. I think it was 6350 if I'm looking at SPX level, or 63175 here, right, around this area, right? And or otherwise, it should be coming into the 50%. Now, the question is it gonna come straight down here, or is it gonna make an ABC that, okay, probably things will calm down over the weekend, and or there would be no news or something like that, and we will start moving up. So we'll get into that. So let me, before we get into that, let me just put in the full count right here of this subwave as well, which we were counting it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And we change the degrees here. Mark it as minute. Use this as sub-minute, and then this can remain as this, right? So 1, 2, internal count of the third wave, and now we are in a fourth wave. Now when we're dissecting the fourth wave, again, this is a very sharp move down, and now if it starts rolling back on Monday, or start pulling up on Monday, somewhere from Monday or Tuesday, this area, right? So what we are looking at probably a move back. A move back could be somewhere around, if I look into, even the smaller time frames here, let's say it starts moving from here. Probably I'm looking at into, this sort of block here, right? And a test of this probably would be somewhere around 50 to 60% at least, 50 to 61%. um yeah, it's about 50% right there. And if it goes a little higher, then 663 or so could be my 61% retracement over there, right? So that's the area that I'm looking at. If the retracement starts first, let's go back. 6,700 is possible, but given the volatility, I don't know for sure, right? I would look into somewhere around the 662 area or so at least, for a bounce, right? So like this, right? Um, Somewhere into this 660 to 663. So I'll probably add more into. So I started SPXL right around here, and I'll probably add more on Monday if we open here and we start creating that 15-minute fair value gaps. After sweeping through these lows or wherever. Once that happens, I'll start adding into either into calls or into SPXL, and look into the rally into these levels 660, 656, and somewhere around there, right? And after that, so if this was my A drop, this is my B, then we can have another C down, into our 631 level, right? So this is what I think can happen, at least one of the way, is it really a zigzag going on? It's very hard to say. Though I've shared it as a zigzag because this is like a straight line drop, and even if try to kind of read it internally, it's a very hard structure here to read, because I think here it was some sort of a double top here. Let's see. Yeah, a double top, and then a drop, right? Was it like one, two, three, four, and a fifth wave keep extending? Is that what's going on? Then it's a form of a flat. So if this was a flat like an A, B, C, then we are looking at some complex structure as WXY, right? So which again would mean something similar, that this was a W, X can bounce up to 60%, maybe 78%. I think that's where 78% is gonna be, right? And yeah, 78%, and then come down for a while, like again. um it would be really interesting if they keep selling it off all the way down here, which in my opinion may not really happen. I mean, we are really, really oversold on hourlies, and look like there is already a bounce coming here, right, as I'm talking, right? So around that level. And the 4 hour is oversold as well. So getting all the way here is quite challenging. So in my opinion, there should be a bounce somewhere at least into this candle, into this bearish fair value gap, right? And then we can look into another leg down, right? So this is what we are looking at high level. This is what we wanted to begin with. I've been kind of shouting as much as I can that move cash at least 30-40%, so that once the dip comes, you're not just holding into your positions into loss, which will eventually recover anyway. But you have an option to average or buy the things that you like to buy, right? So that's what I've been advocating. I think for like a couple of weeks, and the time has come. This is really nice. He's talking about November 1st to be the China tariff day, right? I think by October 25th on a Sunday or so, he's gonna roll back, right? Or something will happen, right? And with that, we are gonna get this wave up into 7,000 and above, and into January. That will be my fifth wave. Again, that fifth wave, it's still a substructure of this one, two, three, four, and a five. It's not the end of the world there. We will get another Q1 dip, something similar to that. How sharp, how wild, I don't know. But then after that, we'll head into 7,500, 7,600 during summer time frame, right? So that will complete my this wave as one, two, three, four, and five. And what happens after that, we'll discuss when the time comes. All right, with that, enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you again with updates on Sunday. Have a good luck, have a good weekend, and if you like my content, please do like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye bye.